What's up, guys? Just a quick update video here in this one. Not going to be a ton of poker, maybe try and get to a hand here, but just want to keep this one pretty short and brief. Just bringing you guys a quick update from the suburbs of Detroit, here in Michigan, here at my parents' house. Got here this Tuesday, will be here until the following Tuesday. Let's see what's happening. Remember my mom had that back surgery thing going on about, I don't know, a year ago or so? Mostly better, I would say, mostly better. Probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 80% better, something like that. So mostly positive, mostly good news. Turns out that my dad watched her having so much fun doing this back surgery thing and the recovery and all that. He decided he'd like to have some back surgery himself. So that's happening. That happened the day I flew in. That happened 2 days ago on Tuesday, and still in the hospital now, but surgery was a success. Now he's just gonna have to do his own little recovery process, but not quite the same major procedure that my mom had. Still gonna be, you know, a little bit of a process along the way. So if you want to send him some nice messages in the comments down below, I'll make sure he sees those. We'll pass those over to him, and all the well wishes are much appreciated from you guys. What else? I do really want to mention the submissions that have been rolling in for the PokerStars Platinum Pass giveaway. We tasked you guys with creating one video a week for 5 weeks and some different themes in each video. And you guys have stepped up to the plate. We started out receiving somewhere in the neighborhood of about 200 submissions during week one. For sure there's going to be some people that dip out after that once they find out quite how much work goes into creating each one of these videos, and more in particular, how much time it takes to put a video together. But nevertheless, you guys are still cranking them out. We're already into week 5 here, and we've had submissions from all over the world. People taking part in this. It's been awesome to see people getting into it from Australia, Vietnam, UK, Mexico, Finland, Sweden, Denmark, the Netherlands, Canada, Hungary, Scotland, Romania, South Africa, and then of course all over the United States as well. So it's just been awesome to see you guys embrace the awkwardness of talking into your camera for the first time, and just using the challenge, the contest itself, as, you know, a way to get over the hump of starting this whole process, starting your own blog, talking about yourselves, your poker journeys, and really just showing everything that's sort of near and dear to you. We've seen lots of families and some cute kids along the way. We've seen some home games and some poker hands, and a ton of creativity as well. So that's been really cool to see, and I've been sort of thankful, I guess, for you guys for doing these videos and sending them in. It's been pretty inspiring, you know. It's been for sure one of the highlights since starting this vlog in particular, seeing you guys get involved as well. So as mentioned, we're in week 5 now, and there's gonna be more to come on that, so stay tuned here. You can also check out Jeff Gross on Twitch, and we will be coming back with more information on the final 5. We'll be narrowing it down to that, and then of course picking a winner, sending someone to the Bahamas to play a $25,000 tournament down there. Let's see. As for myself, I've been on the grind, not here yet in Michigan, but over this past weekend, full-on grind mode. Didn't make any videos or record anything. Was playing the Wynn 2-5, the deep stack 2-5 over there. Booked a winning session, no pun intended, every day that I was over there. So that was 3 or 4 sessions. One hand of note, I guess, something that was kind of interesting. I did post it on my Instagram page already, but thought maybe I could expand on it slightly here. So we're looking down at ace deuce of hearts in middle position, and go ahead and make what I think is a standard raise, $20. The button and the small blind make the call. So 3 ways to a flop in which we flop bottom pair on a pretty dry board. So when the small blind checks to me, I decided to go ahead and bet it. It's basically a semi bluff. It works 2 ways. If anybody happens to fold 2 overcards, which everybody is going to have in this situation, that's good news. They're always folding out their equity. So happy to just take it down there with bottom pair and folding out all that equity. We can also improve, so it could be a semi-bluff. We can improve on an ace or a deuce, of course, and some backdoor hearts as well. Improve our equity, at least on those hearts. So I decided to put in a small bet of $25 since it's a very dry board. The button makes the call and the small blind folds. So we're going heads up to a turn card, which is a pretty favorable one for the ace deuce. It is another deuce. So we do improve the trips here, and this is where things take a turn for the interesting. I decided to check it, and thankfully my opponent puts in a bet. He bets $85. In this spot, I kind of want to just try and put as much money into the pot as possible immediately rather than just flat call and play in flow and then risk having my opponent check back on the river. That would probably be a terrible result, I think. So it's not a play that I would take always. If I'm trying to stay balanced, I would probably just c-bet here again on the turn and balance that with like a 5-4. But like with the 5-4 open-ender, I'd probably just barrel again and then give it up facing any further resistance, or consider barreling the river. But in this instance, in a spot where I'm not trying to stay balanced, I just go ahead and check raise it and try and get as much money in there as possible. So I make it $215 to go. And what's interesting is my opponent puts in a 3-bet. He makes it $530 to go. So maybe slightly worried at this point. Could be having some shades of myself versus Wino poker on Live at the Bike.
I mean, again, obviously I can see the cards, but I'm actually not a big fan of that play.
Possibly I have gone ahead and overvalued my trips here, but I don't know, not too worried. Obviously can't fold in this spot. We have the best deuce, and there's a chance my opponent could be overvaluing his hand as well, whatever that hand may be. So I go ahead and make the call, and we're off to a river card, which is an offsuit 10. I check it, and my opponent checks it back. So I go ahead and show, and it is in fact good. So pretty interesting there. Not exactly sure what my opponent would have in that situation to put in a 3-bet. Could be bluffing. It's possible that he could have had a deuce, but I would expect him to put in a river bet with king deuce suited. But yeah, it's just an interesting spot where you can sort of have two different playing styles based on what your perceptions are of how your opponent is perceiving you. Also, two different playing styles versus different opponents in general. So again, if it's like somebody that I've battled with a lot before, who I know is a regular in these games, or like in a 5-10 game, I would never take this line. Just again, pretty interesting hand there. I thought maybe something out of the ordinary. Ends up being a good one for us. Part of a very good session there over at the Wynn. We win $1,800 in that session, and go on throughout the rest of the weekend to keep the momentum going and erase all of the previous meetup game debacle losses that happened in Seattle and in Austin. So back on the upward trajectory, and as for what's next, the plan over here in Detroit is to go play a session tonight, considering you're watching this on Thursday, most of you. So if you happen to be in Detroit tonight, I'm going to make my way down to Greektown Casino and play 2-5 down there. They should have, I would imagine, the most available tables. That should give us enough space in case we manage to put a few tables together, hang out for a while down there. Casual 2-5, not even sure what the buy-in is. I think maybe 1K max to start. After the game is up and running, I think you can buy in up to the biggest stack in those games. Not sure, not positive, and not an official meetup game, considering my mug partner in crime, Brad Owen, will not be there. Just me, Mug Light, I'm calling it. What do you think of that name? Genius? Semi-genius? Genius Light? So yeah, that's it. I'll be hanging out here. 20-year high school reunion also is happening this weekend. That's right, I'm that old, you guys. That's it. I guess a little pause in the full production vlogs, but wanted to get this update out to you guys. And then again, say cheers to everybody who's been participating in the Vlogger Challenge, Vlogger in Paradise. Check it out. Use the hashtag Vlogger in Paradise if you guys want to watch some of these. I highly recommend checking them out. It's just cool. See some people get into that. I already mentioned that. That's about it. All right, signing off. See you guys very soon.